everyone, welcome to show and tell number 29. My name is Claudia and thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. So before we get started, I will just warn you that my husband is working from home and he's sitting right over there. So there's his hand. And so if you hear some typing, that's what that is. His company has decided to do this thing where they're just trying it out right now, but where he gets to work from home one day a week. And so yeah, this month it's Mondays, but it'll change. But yeah, so he's here while I record. Fun times. I have an audience. It's a little off-putting. I mean, not that I don't have an audience, because like I know that people are going to see this, but yeah. It's weird with someone else in the room. He's not really paying attention, so yeah. Keep looking over there. Alright, so let's go ahead and just dive right in. Okay, so I've got stuff that's like life general things that I'll talk about at the end. So we'll just talk about all the yarn stuff now. So let's talk about finished objects. I had last week a hoe. This is actually the second or third time I've started talking about this, and my husband, I forgot something and I had to go get it, and my husband, who's now glaring at me, it was like, I can't believe you didn't make a math joke, because you had a hoe and now you have another hoe and two hoes make a foe. And anyway, yeah, so distractions. Anyway, so last week I had this hoe, which is just a fingerless knit that I've improvised, and now I have two of them, so a faux, that's upside down, and there we go. So yeah, there's a lot of things that end in O sounds. I'm going to put these on so you can actually see what they look like. I made these out of Cascade 220 Superwash Sport in black and daffodil. And yeah, they do actually have, I did the thumb gusset placement just slightly different on them. So one of them is a right and one of them is a left, and I'm not sure if I have it right. I don't think I do. But anyway, I'll switch it later. Here they are. I did 2-row stripes, which, as I mentioned last week, turned out to be kind of a pain in the butt, but they are really cute. And someone on Instagram posted a comment when I took a picture of them, or I think I just had the one, and she was like, it's kind of like childbirth. Like you kind of forget the pain and then you do it again. So it wasn't, I guess, as bad as childbirth, but anyway, I just really did not enjoy changing the yarn that often. It just, even though I didn't break the yarns, I didn't have to weave in all those ends. It just kind of, it was kind of crazy. But anyway, I really, really like them. I made them down like to here. So I just cast on 52 stitches, I believe, and then I decreased until I had 44 stitches. And if you want the details on like where the actual decrease placement is, I can write that up for you. But yeah, so I did that, and then I did the thumb gusset up until I had, I believe, 19 stitches for the thumb gusset. It's actually a little big there, but whatever. And then I did 10 rows before the ribbing. Yeah. And actually, I think I did a row of black with just knits before I started the ribbing. The ribbing on these are 2x2, so super easy. And I really like them. They are very warm. So, and these are the old ones that I had. These ones are for my husband. He wanted his a little shorter and with like thicker stripes and stuff. So, yay! Same yarn. Did I mention that? Daffodil and black Cascade Superwash 220 Sport, the sport kind. So yeah, and I used size, I believe, 6 needles. I will check the bag. Yes, size 6 needles, which I think is a 4mm. So yay, those are done. And then I have one more finished object, and I don't know. I don't think this was a hoe last time. We'll look. No, it was not a hoe last time. I have 2 socks. so excited. It took me actually less than a month to make these, which is like a record for me. Yeah. I really love them. These are Felici, Knit Mix Felici in the candy jar, no, gummy bear colorway. And yes, I love them so much. And they fit really well. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel on them. And they matched almost perfectly. Almost perfectly. This one has an extra, the one on the right here has an extra half a row. I forgot which end I stopped on the other one, and yeah, so it has like 1 row extra of pink. But it's fine. I really, 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 really like them. Felici is super soft. Highly recommended. I don't think it's going to make like the most durable socks. And I've got another pair of Felici socks too, or 3 pair now, I think. I just love the stripes. But yeah, so I think that, you know, these are not like, they're probably not going to last forever because they are soft, therefore more prone to wear, I guess. But yeah. So I did have to do 2 increases. So I increased 2 here, and then I increased 2 here, I think. Maybe 4 on each row to accommodate my calf region of my legs. So yeah, these are taller than I usually make my socks. I actually like ankle socks. I prefer ankle socks, but I really liked this yarn, so I wanted to make it more. And I had quite a bit of the yarn left, and unfortunately I don't have it in front of me, but I probably could have done another 3 stripes maybe on each one, but I'm fine with this. They're fine. And they fit well. So yay. I did a rounded toe. I'll take one of them off here. I did a rounded toe. And so the way I do that, I think I did a rounded toe. Now I was second guessing myself. So what I do is I normally do, for 3 sets of decreases, I'll decrease, knit, even, decrease, knit, even, decrease, knit, even, and then I decrease every row until I have the number that I need for my toes, which is 14. So, and then I just Kitchener stitch them closed. So yay, I really like them. These sock blockers, if you're interested, are the shipped ones there. These are the Knitter's Pride ones, and they're kind of see-through. So fun. Alright, and that is all I have finished. But I feel like that's a lot. I mean, maybe not in other people's worlds, but to me that's a lot. Because again, a pair of socks in less than a month. I don't know. I have not started another pair yet, so it'll probably be a little bit before I do that. I do believe for my like crafty goals for 2016, I am, at least on the sock part, like on track. Like I'm not really on track on other stuff, but on that I am. Okay, so I have some works in progress. We will start with, what do we start with? Let's go ahead and start with the cardigan. This cardigan, I didn't show it to you last time, but I showed it to you the time before that. It's living in a Fat Squirrel Fibers bag, the library card bag. And I saw somebody else that had this fabric too, but I can't remember now. I was looking on Etsy for something and I think I saw it. But I really like it. I mentioned last time that it was kind of time to upsize the bag, and it still is. I mean, it's fitting in here, but yeah. So I think that the stitch marker on here, I have turn this around. I have a stitch marker from Sucre Miniatures on Etsy, marking my progress. So it's a little carrot. And I'm pretty sure that this is where, that's where I was the last time I showed it to you. So you can see I've done quite a bit. I mean, maybe not in the time frame, but for me, sorry, that's my phone. I've done 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, almost 8 pattern repeats. So I am getting, I'm at the point where you increase. Like, so in the waist shaping, I'm increasing. This is, of course, a bottom-up sweater. And I have, I did a provisional crochet cast on the bottom. So once it's all done, I'm going to go back and pick up these live stitches and take the cast on off and then pick the stitches up and do a border. I wasn't 100% sure how much this was going to stretch. I did swatch, but I always underestimate how long I want my sweater, or I always think, oh, it'll stretch out more than it does, and it doesn't, even when I swatch. So I figured I'd do this. I might actually block it first and then go and pick up the stitches and then re-block it. I might do that. So that way it's the length that I want it to be. Yeah. So anyway, the yarn I'm using on this is Knit Picks Hawthorne Kettle Dye in Blackbird, that's the black, and Slate, and that's the gray. And I really love it. The pattern, did I mention, is Flaming June by Cheryl Namath. And I called mine Freezing January because I started it in January, and yes, it's June. I understand. I understand. It does have quite a bit of, I do think it is superwash, so it should grow, and I think that superwash usually grows vertically. So it's got, you can see, like, it's got a lot of stretch in it. So, yay. I am doing this on size something needles. 3.75 millimeters. These are my ChowGoo interchangeables, which I love. But yeah, so it's coming along. I'm about, you can't really see, but I'm about like to here. So I don't have that much further to go before I have to split for the sleeves and do all that fun stuff. But anyway, I did quite a bit of work on it recently, so yay! I'm excited. Now I can move my the marker. It's a little carrot, if you were interested. So yeah, I really like the sweater, but it is kind of getting heavy. Like, it feels like it weighs, not a lot, but like it's a little harder to work with than it was when it was like, you know, all short and stuff. But I really do like it, and I think it's gonna be worth it. For my crafty goals, speaking of crafty goals, I mentioned that I wanted to do 2 sweaters for me, and like, I've got to get this finished so I can start another one, but the next one is not going to be fingering weight yarn because it takes forever. And it's beautiful, and I'm sure it's going to fit like wonderfully, but, well, hopefully, but it's just, it's a lot of stitches. I'm not exactly petite, and a lot of stitches. So yeah, I'm just going to put that back in the bag there. And then what else am I working on? Oh, the shawl. I showed this to you last time. I just started it. I didn't have very much left, or didn't have much work on it yet. This is the Be Simple Variation Shawl by Carolyn Glaus Todrunk. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I'm using Mode Knit yarn. It's Mode Work Flow fingering. The color is Cuckoo Wasp, and you can see, you know, I've gotten quite a bit used up. That's about, I would say, probably about half of the yarn. I wasn't 100% sure. It was hard to tell, like, with the middle, you know, all the middle stuff was. But now that I've worked it up, I think the way that this yarn was dyed, it's like a mirror effect. So, like, it has a middle point, and then it works, you know, all of the yarn from the midpoint is the same, roughly. So, yeah, it's living in a Lammy Toes bag. There's her her label. Little birds on it, and it's got hearts on the inside. She makes speckle dye yarn. That's really fun. Her name's Amanda, and she has a podcast called Not a Podcast, KNOT, a podcast. I'll put a link. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is the Be Simple Variation Shawl. I think the Be Simple one just doesn't have any texture or anything on it. But yeah, so let's get this pulled up, and hopefully I don't drop all my stitches. So here we go. Isn't that, like, so fun? Don't you think? I'm really loving it. I love how it's working up, and yeah, I can't wait to actually have it finished. So the yarn is kind of like, I've heard it referred to as like pebbly yarn or high twist yarn. It's kind of, let's see if I can actually show you. That's not going to show. You can sort of see the texture of the yarn. So I don't know if this yarn, the way it was dyed, I think left it a little bit kinky, wavy, and so I don't think the eyelets and stuff are not as open as they would be even before blocking, but I think once it blocks, it's going to open up so much, and I really cannot, I love it. I love the colors, green is my favorite color, purple is like right there, and then this blue is just, it's just pretty. It's just pretty. And the colors actually on camera, I'm looking, I keep dropping it, the colors do look like more contrasting, I guess, than they do in real life. I mean, they are obviously like purple and blue are two different colors, but you can see more of the slight variations between like the different shades of purple and the different shades of blue and stuff in real life. Now it does kind of, you can see like it has like a false start, so it almost does this little striping effect, which I really liked, and I'm excited about it. I have been working on it a little bit, but not too much. But I think I'm about halfway. I've not weighed it yet or anything, but I do think I'm about halfway. Okay, and so that's all of the yarn stuff, I think. Well, kind of. It's all of the knitting. No, it's not. Yes, it is all the knitting. I do have a crochet whip. I just started this actually this morning. I am going to be doing, it's the Angel Wings Pinafore by, I wrote their names down, Maxine Gonzer. It's my phone again, I apologize. Should have turned it off. So anyway, so it's the Angel Wings Pinafore. Now I've made this before, and I don't remember, I feel like I was doing the show and tells on the last one that I made, but now I'm second guessing myself. I love this. I love this pattern. It's so cute. I don't have it pulled up, unfortunately, but you'll see it next time. It'll be done by then. What happens is you just sew like this, or not sew, you crochet this, and you do increases and stuff, and then you you'll gather it together, and it'll have the yoke, and then you do a skirt, and it's, it's just adorable. It's just adorable. So, yeah. I'm using Karen Simply Soft in soft pink and a size J 6mm hook. I used for the chain, like the first row of chains and the first row of single crochets. It's a free pattern. So basically for the chain row and then the first row after that, I used a size I hook, which is a 5.5mm, because I wanted that top edge to be just slightly less open, I guess. It's the best way to describe that. So yeah, I really like how it's coming along so far. Granted, I only have like 2.5 rows, so yeah. It doesn't even have a project bag yet because it was just sitting here. And that is all for the actual yarn. Now I do have some spinning and I have cross stitch. So let's go ahead and do this. What is spinning? So I've been spinning on this for a while, and you guys have seen it lots of times. The fiber is by Turtle Made, as is the spindle. She does these 3D printed Turkish spindles that I love. I actually have a different size here. This is the first one that I bought. I think this is her mini. This is the standard, if you're interested. But I do believe she's not doing the flat-bottomed ones anymore. Or maybe just not for the big ones. I feel like I got an email or a message or something about that. Anyway, So yeah, I did this little bit of spinning. This was a sample that was on one of the cards from the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival. So I just spun that up just because. Anyway, this is what I've actually been working on the most. So I know I'm not anywhere close to being done, but isn't it pretty? I love it. This is the other 2 ounces. I have it sitting right here. This is the other 2 ounces. So you can see I've got quite a ways to go, and I'd split the braid in half by weight, so it'll hopefully be about the same size. Yeah. I actually have, let's see how much yarn or how much fiber I have left. I have that much. So actually, it's really not that much. I have not weighed it, but it doesn't feel like it's that much. Not at all. It's spinning up quite fine. I'm having to actually fight and not make it like super, super thin. I guess that's just like my default now. I don't know. I want to be able to spin thicker. I mean, I already started this, so I'm not going to do it now, but maybe the next set of fiber. But like it's getting like thin, like where it's like 3 fibers with or something like tiny, like thread weight or something. It's yeah. So I'm paying really close attention to it, and it is going not fast, not fast at all. It's living in a Kicks and Giggles bag, which is the Harry Potter spell thing. So you got like there's Wingardium Leviosa, which cuts off on the A, but you know. Anyway, it's all that good stuff. I love it, and it's satin lined too, so it's all smooth. And then there is the cross stitch, and I've not shown this to you in a while because I've not worked on it in a while, but I did finish, well, most of the body. The pattern is by RHT Embroidery, and what it's going to do is it'll have this design here, and then it says after all this time on the top and then always at the bottom. And yeah, so I've got all of it done except like the middle part of the deer and then of course the lettering. The pattern, if you purchase the pattern, you'll want to pay attention to the spacing. I didn't really notice it before I bought it, but it's not a really big deal. But the lettering is not centered between the image, and that just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of like, I don't know, made my brain hurt a little. So I went ahead and made notes and stuff about how far to move everything over. But that is it for now, and I really like it. I really like it, and it'll probably be done, probably not next time because let's be real, but maybe the time after that, so like in a month. We'll see how it goes. And that is all I have for my works in progress. So yeah, I worked on a little bit of stuff here and there, but you know, I think I've made the most progress probably on that cardigan, honestly. Other than finishing the 2 projects, because that, you know, those did get finished. Alright, so I did buy one thing, and it is this Swift that's sitting right behind me. It is a Stanwood needlecraft one you get from Amazon, and I love it. I already skeined, or caked up a skein of yarn, and it really, really, really does go a lot faster. My husband is super grateful to Amy, who's being my one here on YouTube, and because when she was here, she kind of was like, let's go, I think we were going to go cake up yarn or something. We were like, let's go do that. And I was like, yeah, I don't have a Swift. And then I was like, Justin always helps. And then she was like, you need to go buy a Swift. And then of course, my husband was like, yes, please. And he's over there grinning. But I did buy it, and it does make it actually, it is much swifter of a process. So, yeah. So thank you, Amy. And Justin, who's my husband, he thanks you as well. Because he really, when I was like, hey, will you help me do this? He would just be like, oh, really? And then I would like bring out like 6 skeins of yarn. So yeah, he doesn't have to do that anymore. And that is all I bought. Other than like, oh, I bought a new tripod, but you know, that isn't really crafty related. Yeah, and I'm not actually even using it. It's like I got the wrong size because I don't know. I got one that was tall. I mean, it'll be nice for doing other things, but for sitting on my desk, it's not. It's too tall for that. I would be looking up like that. Um, because the one I'm using is not. It doesn't have a level setting on it, and it's not. Naturally, it's not level. It's slightly off level. So I have to adjust it. I have to like put stuff under the legs. But yeah. So yeah. That's it, I guess. So what have I been up to? Well, I mentioned last time that, you know, there was an illness in the family, and I'm not trying to be cryptic or anything, it's just, I don't know. Basically, my dad's girlfriend she had a stroke, and so she's in the hospital, and we don't really know. I mean, she's awake and alert and stuff, but she just can't understand what you're saying, and it's hard to understand her too and stuff. Um, and of course, my dad is like very upset. And neither one of them are particularly young. So I have been helping my dad out with stuff, just things that she normally kind of took care of around the house and everything, and but he kind of needs a little bit of assistance. So I've been doing that, and he lives like 30 miles or like 30 minutes with good traffic away. So, there's been a lot of traveling and all of that, but it's fine. We just have to get in a routine of everything and get everything set up to where I can do some of it not at his house. So, yeah, so what else? I wrote stuff out here. Okay. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I'm Crafting with Claudie on Instagram. I posted a picture Friday maybe. I used to keep all of my like the ball bands and the tags and stuff from my yarn. I used to keep all of that, and I found a bag of it when I was just looking at stuff, and I took it and I like laid it all out on the thing. I dumped the bag on the desk and I took a picture and put it on Instagram, and I just found it very interesting. Which, I mean, I know it's not really like, I don't know. Maybe I can put a picture in. That's what I'll do. I'll put a picture here. Okay, so that probably, like, now you know what it looks like. um, but yeah, so I had a bunch of those, and I have more. I know I have another set as well, and I think it's in a drawer in the closet. But I don't know. So I ended up getting rid of that because, like, I don't know why I was keeping it, other than like some of it was pre-Ravelry. And then also I was like, well, I don't know. I think I just got in the habit of doing it and then just kept doing it. And now I just throw it away. Because, yeah. So, yeah. This past weekend we went house hunting. Well, not house hunting. We went to open houses. Yeah. And there were, what was really interesting? That, like, people are like, yeah, we're having open house. And then they don't show up. Like, the realtor is not there. That happened to us twice, but we did go and look at a couple of houses that we actually were able to get inside and look at and everything. One was too small. We thought it would be okay based on square footage, but in reality, no. And then the other one was nice, but like for the money, it wasn't that nice. So, but the space was nice. Like it was, it had a loft. Like when you go upstairs, like not a loft, but like a room, like a landing, and not instead of like walking into a hallway, you like are in like another room. They had like a game room kind of thing set up in there, and I was really excited about that. So I was like, we can get one of those, but ultimately I would actually prefer like a ranch style house. But yeah, so that's just me rambling about my life. Oh, I didn't mention what I have been reading. I did finish listening to the audiobook for Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith or J.K. Rowling. I finished it, and it was good. I think that was actually, I was going to say that one's my favorite, but now I have to think about it a little bit. But I feel it was really good. It was good. I can't wait for the fourth one. Who knows when that one will be out? We don't know yet. But it was good. I liked the person who's doing the narration. His name is Robert as well. Glenister, I think. Glenister. Robert Glenister. And so, like, his voice is nice and everything, so I enjoyed it. And I actually did read, not audiobooks, but I actually read 2 books by Victoria Aveyard, Aveyard, in her Red Queen series. So I read, the first one is Red Queen, and the second one is Sword of Glass, or Glass Sword, something like that. And it's supposed to be a series, so it didn't like finish up or anything like that. But I read those on the recommendation, I believe Heather, who's Bunnyfish, she has a Bunnyfish Crafts podcast here on YouTube. She mentioned, I'm pretty sure it was her, she mentioned the Red Queen book, and so I checked it out from the library, and I read it, and then I read the next one. And good. I mean, it's a sort of young adult. I believe the main character is getting ready to turn 18 at the beginning of the book. So it's kind of like that. It's about, what can I say about it? Basically, like, they're in a world where there are 2 different types of people. There are people that have red blood, and there are people who have silver blood. And the silver-blooded people are like the upper class, where the red-blooded people are the lower class. And yeah, so there's that kind of thing going on. And there's like a little bit of like magic-y type stuff, and or not magic, but like powers, I guess the best way to put it. Just like innate powers. It was good. It was actually, I get kind of like, with the young adult books and stuff, I get kind of burn out a little bit. Like, sometimes when you read them, they all kind of sound the same. But this was different enough to be really interesting, but still it's in that same kind of fight the man, change the world kind of book. I guess you call it dystopian, but yeah. So it was good, and I recommend it. So thank you, Heather, for mentioning that, because yeah, it was good. I don't know what I'm going to be reading next. I did get another book out, and I started it, and then I was like, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it, but I can't even remember the name of it now. Something about magic. History of Magic? No, not the History of Magic. I read that book too. I can't remember now. I'm going to give it another try, and if I give it another try, I'll talk about it then. But yeah. So that is all I've got going on today. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, so that way you can, not hear any more of my husband's typing over there. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!